is underway. They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And no, incomplete. Boy, they took a shot there on the first play, tried to start it out with a bang, but it's second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field, and when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. And he'll get it down here to the 43. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here we go.
Looking to throw on second down. Fox. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. Into this game, they're ranked number 22 in the NFL against the pass, Charles.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. That opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's caught inside the 20. And finally, he's taken down at the 18. A big play there. And even 50 yards.
Green 39! Green 39!
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
He'll look to throw. His pass caught at the 4. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well.
And it's caught. Touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead. This is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you're really out here in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. Get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right.
Now let's go.
Now a play fake here on first down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I liked his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that.
Let's go.
Ended up picking up 2.
Green 39.
Throwing on first down. Fox. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now, nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
All right, here we go.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
Let's go. Green 39.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
Now let's go.
Now they try the right side here. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Well, there's an example of patience being rewarded. Ran the ball on first down and got stuffed. Most people would scream, throw the ball here in this situation. They stayed with their roots, stayed with running the football, and they got rewarded.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
And now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Now a handoff looking right. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in his first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle.
Set. 3-19.
To throw on 2nd down. Fox. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
All right, here we go.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Forced out to his left. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
Partner, it's often that man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
Now let's go. Green.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
3 down, 3 down. All right, here we go.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
The offense on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
Hey, set, move.
They'll look to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2. Got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim. And hopefully he'll be kicking extra points instead.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now 2nd down.
Hurry up, here we go.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Fox. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And does the defense have it? They do, says the referee. We're going the other way. So possession changes hands on the final play of the first quarter. And what a way to take over as they've got it with a 1st and goal. The defense gets in the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. And they'll run it here. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. In for the score. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. Solid return. Pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions. But some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense. But when you turn it over, it changes momentum. And when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
Here we go. Green, 39.
To throw again. Fox throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Martin, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, landed.
To throw on 3rd down. Fox throwing the out route incomplete. It's Hudson. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Now let's go. Blue, landed.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Down to the 25. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. Play action. Fox. Out to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. So 2 missed field goals for him now, and that's helped keep them with a big 0 on the scoreboard.
Well, it's not the only reason they have a 0. The offense has been bogged down a few times now, but it's certainly not helping the cause any at all.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll set up to throw. Harris has it over the middle. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. And on the ground they go with a running back. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup, and now they've got a 3rd down and 8.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. He's going to float this one deep, and it's caught. Touchdown. A big play there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. On 1st and 10, Fox. Throw left side complete. That's Hudson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well-run route.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense. So they tried the 59-yarder and missed it. And now this offense starts just 1 yard shy of midfield. Well, when you've got a kicker out there who's already missed twice, he definitely would rather have about a 30-yarder rather than one from a neighboring county.
Can we agree to just give him a pass on that one? It would have definitely been a way to turn his mood around, but instead, it's a third miss and another scoreless possession.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Blue line it.
They'll look to throw here. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Harris. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. They'll look to throw now on first down. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
3-19.
They'll try the left side. Phillips. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Steps away to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
So that's now 12 points that they've left on the field, 4 missed field goals.
Now, you and I were both hoopers, so you know it's like being a shooter in basketball. Sometimes when things go wrong, it gets in your head, and it's tough to get back on track. And that one, it never had a chance.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
And they'll go on the ground. Oh, good footwork on the spin. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now back to throw. Spinning past him. A second spin. A gain of 4 on the play, and it's a 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. They'll drop the throw. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week, he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week, he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
From the gun on 3rd down, Fox firing quickly here, and that's complete. 17 yards on the pickup there, and also a 1st down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Back to throw. Fox finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be 4th down. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Gets it to Gordon. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 yards for number 11. His big game continues. Already has the 3 touchdown grabs, tacking on some more yardage and a 1st down.
And how precise has his route running been in this game? We just saw him get open yet again, and he's also made adjustments as the defense has tried to really stop him.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. A little too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump starting.
Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. To throw from his end zone. Fox, quick hitter here, it's complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On third down, that's Phillips. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. And on now is the punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. Returnable here from the 38. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Green 39. Green 39.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Let's go. Green
They'll throw
39.
now on the final play. And that is incomplete. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always.
We now proceed to the start of the second half. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
This offense so far on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. Here it's 3rd and 2. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. They'll set up a throw, and he whips that one incomplete there.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And this one's incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
And that will be incomplete as well.
And that was just situational football 101 right there. Excellent decision to throw that one away. You know he would have loved to have converted right there, keep the pressure on and build on this lead. But the best play, avoid the sack, taking care of the football.
And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory. It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
Here we go.
From the gun on third down, Fox throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Well, they bring their punter out there now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And it's fielded at the 34. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Hurry up, here we go.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll get 3 up to midfield.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Here we go now.
Back to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Gordon. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his. Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
I don't know whether I want to be a fly on the wall or not when they hear the explanation of how he, one of the bigger targets on the field, the tight end can be that wide open and uncovered downfield. Who blew that assignment?
Somebody did.
No doubt about it. There's no way you're not going to account for him. That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And this offense continues to pour it on.
Offensive line coaches always tell their guys, if we score touchdowns, that means we got to the end zone first. That's exactly what those blockers did, clearing the way for their back.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says, try something different, try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started. On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down. This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Looking to throw. Fox buying time to his left. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
On first down, Phillips. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another 13 yards there twice in a row, and they're on the move. Another first down as well.
Okay, let's face it. Most of the offensive linemen in today's NFL, they're going to weigh over 300 pounds, but that doesn't mean they don't have agility. And the way that they can get out in front of a runner and create a space, sometimes it looks like they're going in one direction, and the runner uses his eyes to take him in another direction because it's been blocked so well. Love those misdirection or counter plays, and this one worked really well for a nice piece of yardage.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fox over the middle, complete. It's Hudson, and he'll go down at the 28. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
From the gun, Fox, and almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
And his kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Now let's go.
Now they try the right side here. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
When Leonard Williams was picked in the 2015 NFL Draft, I compared him to Merlin Olsen, and I got a lot of grief about it. Did you just see that play there? Did you see how he made that move and made that tackle? That was Merlin Olsen-esque there.
I just perked up when you said Merlin Olsen.
Yeah, a lot of people said, hey, that's too much, too far, and maybe it is early, but I think this guy has a chance of fulfilling that.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On 1st down, Fox toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Back to the air on second down. Fox. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
On second down now, Phillips. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It'll be a gain of 4. And that's going to make it fourth down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Now this offense ready to head back out there. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football.
Welcome back now to the Emerald Isle. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. They're going to look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And now back out comes the offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
So you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Throwing on first down. Fox. And his throw here is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. Boom,
Throwing again. Fox. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Back to throw. Fox. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And his guys are able to close that gap just a bit. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Here's Harris to return it. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And here now the offense heading back out there. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Set. 3-19.
He'll drop to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off inside the 10.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
1st and 10. Fox throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up 2nd down.
Looking to throw. Fox, wide open receiver, complete. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give them a lot of confidence to help turn things around. To throw on 2nd down, Fox. And unsuccessful there, trying to dump it underneath. That'll bring up 3rd down. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
Here we go.
On 3rd down, Fox. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
On 1st down, Fox throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another 1st down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
False start, offense.
So from 2nd and 10, it'll now go to 2nd and 15. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Call it a gain of 13 yards on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
So it looks like somebody may have forgotten the snap count, and a 5-yard penalty ensues.
False start, offense.
Well, we're back where we started. It'll be 1st and 10 after the 5-yard penalty. And the situation changes a bit now. 1st and goal from back at the 10. And they'll run it here. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. So it's our visitors with a football as we get you reset. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look for a late touchdown.
Let's go.
Now here's a whistle as flags come in. And we'll check out the call.
False start, offense.
So that'll back them up 5. Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal.
All right, here we go.
They'll keep it on the ground. Phillips. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Operating from the gun, Fox. And that is incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys
I'm a little
skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't